So, I'm back at Teamsport Liverpool after the new renovation, and let's just say I have mixed opinions about this track. So, if you didn't already know, Teamsport Liverpool was where I first started karting and where I got addicted to this hobby. Now, I have to admit I was a little bit disappointed when I heard Liverpool were making the switch to electric, and well, I kinda still am, but let's get into the video anyway. Right, let's just quickly go over the changes that have been made. There's now a bigger sports bar, which seems to be centred around racing and F1 in particular. If you ever went to Liverpool before the renovation, this sports bar is now extended into the previous trackside viewing, and the old pit lane is now the new trackside viewing. In the sports bar, you have lots more seating, which is useful for packed academy days. You also have some bowling lanes and pool tables, but you have to pay for them. Liverpool now use electric Sodi carts, which suit the track well, but I'm going to talk a bit more about those in a minute. There's also now two tracks at Liverpool, the main one being 475 metres and about 30 to 35 seconds a lap on speed 3. Liverpool also now have a combat kart track, which can be combined with the other track for MEMS events and things to make one large track. However, today I was only on a normal one. The new track's a relatively simple one. As you pull out of the pits, you have a small right-hander which lines you up for a nice straight going down the ramp and takes you to the back of the track. You then have to brake fairly heavily to get round the right-hander, which is then followed by a left hairpin which takes you swooping around the back straight. Now, you may not realise, but the start finish is actually here, and this is where your boost gets reset. Then, sweeping under the bridge, you come to a hairpin before the up ramp. Now, upstairs, it's a nice straight followed by a sweeping right-hander back to where we started. If you're wondering where to use your boost, I find it's best to use it for about 3 seconds going up the ramp and then about 2 seconds going down the ramp. Now, what are my opinions on the track? So, to be completely honest, I'm a bit disappointed. The track feels generally slow and just a bit boring. I've heard many people being very positive about the track, however, I just don't really enjoy it very much. This is quite disappointing as this was previously my favourite track. Another thing people have been saying a lot about is how good the karts are, and I have to say these Sodis are much better than the Biz karts at tracks like Warrington, as you have much better control over the kart. I do think Liverpool is good for beginners though. Tracks like Warrington are very difficult to get right for complete beginners, and I think the simplicity of Liverpool and the added control of the karts make it much easier for beginners to get into karting. I think these new features are purely for Team Sport to bring in some of the party life from Liverpool and appeal to more of the general public. While it isn't really a negative, it's just a bit disappointing to see that Team Sport would make a track worse or shorter just so they can bring in a bit of extra cash. While that's probably a bit harsh, I think it just shows that Team Sport is moving focus away from people who do karting as a hobby to a more sort of commercialised standpoint. One thing I have to say is that I really appreciate the recent support, and I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe, as it just helps me grow as a creator. Sorry the uploads haven't been too consistent lately. I'm currently in the middle of my GCSEs, so it's difficult to find time to make content, but I'm planning on uploading every 2 weeks from now. If you have any video ideas or suggestions, please leave them in the comments so I can see what sort of content you guys want. Thanks for watching.